Is it okay if we're up here with you?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. And I'm just gonna leave after.
Oh, you're gonna leave? Okay.
I don't feel like I need to sit up there. I mean,
okay.
Good morning. So one of the great things about Breck that I've kind of learned since I've been here is that we often get opportunities to gather together in the chapel of the Holy Spirit. And these opportunities can be to learn, to pray together in the voices and the traditions that we all bring to the space. And of course, what brings us here today, which is to celebrate. This year's Distinguished Alumni is an example of all that's great about this community, and it's my honor to welcome her and everyone else to the chapel this morning. With that in mind, I'd like to now invite Brian Sobis to the podium.
Thank you, Reverend Bliss. Breck Upper School students, faculty, staff, administration, and our alumni and family here today, I'm grateful for you, and I'm also grateful for moments to celebrate homecoming. This week holds within it moments where our student body and our alumni community can connect. It's a time where Mustangs across generations, school campuses, heads of school eras can come together and share together this place as our home. It's a time when we can sit down and say what it means to be Breck, a Breck student, either past or present. And today, by celebrating our distinguished alum, we live out the vision of the Breck Alumni Association, a body of over 4,000 individuals whose purpose is to support each other and to invest in the school and connect with one another. Connecting with each other in a place that we call Breck. Before we introduce our distinguished alum, it's important to take a minute to understand how special it is to be a Breck alum. And it's my hope for each and every student here in this chapel that you become one day. Because when I meet members of the Breck alumni community, I meet people who care about each other, who show up when a classmate experiences tragedy, and who celebrates with them when something good happens. I see people who offer care and support even if it isn't a direct connection. They help with a job search, they volunteer at the school, or they make financial support to allow programs and operations at Breck to be possible. I also see Breck alums making a difference in their community in meaningful ways, and I know that will also be you when I meet you at a reunion or regional event in the future. To sum it all up, when I meet Breck alums, I meet people who live out Breck's core values of compassion, excellence, inclusivity, and respect. It has been ingrained in the school far before it was formally adopted as our core values. And I say that the way our alumni live their lives is a litmus test of how we've done so far as a school. And I'm proud to say that we've done a good job. During this year's Distinguished Alumni selection process, the Breck Alumni Council's Distinguished Alum Selection Committee focused deeply on creating guidelines that focus deeply on our core values. And I'd like to thank Maggie Borman, class of 2007, our committee's chair, Tarnika McDaniel, class of 1997, Charlie Hicks, class of 1977, and Rob Johnson, class of 1990, for their work on the project. They created a strong criteria and selected a distinguished alum who lives out our school values in her daily work in our community and is an inspiration to those around her. And now I'd like to welcome Mark Garrison, Breck's Assistant Head of School, to introduce our Distinguished Alum of the Year.
Good morning. It is my honor to present our 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award. Homecoming week is full of fun activities and community gatherings and dress-up days and athletic events, but this chapel service is a chance for us to reflect on the core of what a Breck education provides for you all here, and to celebrate an alum who has used their talent, spirit, and potential to live up to Breck values throughout their life. As Brian Sobis mentioned, since 1976, the Distinguished Alumni Award has honored Breck graduates who lead lives of intellectual curiosity, self-knowledge, and social responsibility. This recognition demonstrates that at Breck, success is defined by equal commitment to these lifelong attributes. Recipients of this award have distinguished accomplishments in both their career and community leadership. They are the living embodiment of Breck's mission in their communities. It is my distinct honor this morning to introduce Leah Lussier Sixkiller from Breck's class of 2003 as our 2024 Distinguished Alum. After graduating from Breck, Ms. Sixkiller earned a BA from Harvard University and her JD and Certificate of Indigenous Peoples Law and Policy from the University of Arizona College of Law. Before I tell you a bit more about Ms. Sixkiller, I just want to reiterate to the students today that she once sat in your seats. Not that long ago, she was a student at Breck who learned in our classrooms, who competed on our swim team, and who celebrated homecoming with her friends before going on, graduating, and achieving the many significant accomplishments that we celebrate here today. Currently, Ms. Sixkiller serves as a judge for the Shakopee-Mdewakanton Community Tribal Court, a position she has held since 2021. In addition, she serves as of counsel at Hogan Adams PLLC, where she closes financial transactions for Indian tribes, banking and financial institutions, and developers. In addition to representing clients in mergers and acquisitions and corporate governance. Ms. Sixkiller also works as a pro bono attorney for the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. Ms. Sixkiller has been recognized by her peers as best lawyers, ones to watch. She is an active member of the National Native American Bar Association and the Minnesota American Indian Bar. She has served on Breck's Board of Trustees since 2021 and was formerly on Breck's Alumni Council. Ms. Sixkiller is a citizen of the Red Lake Band of Chippewa Indians. She is the mother to 4 children, three of whom are current Breck students: Ella from the class of 2032, Sylvie from 2034, Adam from the class of 37, and Jacob. Here today supporting Ms. Sixkiller is her husband, Jesse, and her parents, Carol Engstrom Lussier and Gary Lussier, who served on Breck's Board of Trustees and who annually offers the Prayer of the Four Directions as the invocation at Breck's baccalaureate ceremony. We are honored to recognize such a hardworking, community-minded leader who embodies our mission and values in all that she does. I know Ms. Sixkiller as a brilliant, kind, action-oriented person of integrity. She cares deeply and uses her gifts to do real good in the world. We are so lucky to have her as a leader in our community. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Leah Lussier Sixkiller.
Hi, Mom. I'm Breck's Distinguished Alum for 2024, Leah Sixkiller.
Thank you, Mr. Garrison. Thank you to the Alumni Council and the Distinguished Alumni Committee for the award, especially to whoever nominated me. Thank you, Mr. Sobis, for coordinating all the pomp and circumstance that comes with such an honor. Thank you to all of the teachers, faculty, and staff at Breck now and in my past, especially those when I attended who put me on the trajectory of becoming distinguished. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for ensuring that I could become an alumna from Breck. Thank you to my sister, Hannah, the class of 2005, and my brother, Gary Jr., class of 2008, for joining me in our journey through Breck. Thank you to my husband, Jesse, for your support throughout our time together and helping me to become distinguished as well, and for agreeing to send our 4 kids to Breck. All I have ever cared about in my achievements and accomplishments is making my family proud of me. When I was young, my mom said to me, "Grow where you're planted." I knew that I was already planted with roots deep in Minnesota. My parents, like yours, made a very conscious choice to plant me at Breck, which has been my community for 34 years since I started kindergarten in 1990. One of my kids, who you just saw, recently asked me, "Wait, you were born in the 1900s?" At the time that I started at Breck, Sam Salas was the school's headmaster, and one of his agenda items was to ensure that American Indian students attend Breck. Like most institutions, our school has a complicated history with the first people of Minnesota because of the missionaries who were involved in its founding. Whether we like it or not, Breck's roots are inextricably intertwined with those of the Ojibwe and Dakota people. I don't know for sure whether this history was part of Mr. Salas's initial thought process, but I do know that it's a legacy that has benefited the entire school. For instance, many of you have attended the Native American gathering in the spring. That used to be a relatively small smudging ceremony in the upper school chapel conducted by my family. And you've seen my dad singing at the baccalaureate. He's been providing that service to Breck for many years. And before that, my parents coordinated a dear family friend to do it. These traditions didn't just pop up. They've been years in the making, and they embody the legacy of Breck's roots. Of course, these traditions were a major part of my experience at Breck. And while at Breck, I felt that my unique cultural background was not only tolerated, but celebrated. A major tenet of my life is to give back to that from which you receive. Growing up, I don't remember anyone directly instructing me to do this, but I recall seeing it all around me in our Ojibwe cultural and spiritual beliefs, and in the work that my family and others did in the community. The concept is that each of us has benefited from the people, places, and events in our lives. And as we move forward, we should remember those roots and meaningfully contribute in recognition thereof. I was the type of student who tried my best, paid attention, showed respect to my teachers and other faculty and staff, and did what I was supposed to do. By the time I was a senior, I was taking all AP classes. I was the captain of the swim team. I had participated as a dancer in the musicals and had started a dance club with some fellow students. I knew that it was a privilege to attend Breck School, especially when I also saw a lot of struggle and heartache in my own local American Indian urban community and in my own extended family. I was essentially a part of two very different worlds. I knew that my parents were doing and sacrificing so much so that we could attend Breck. Seeing my parents work hard and understanding the privilege I was experiencing at school caused me to behave in a way that demonstrated my thankfulness. I don't think any kid wakes up every morning and says, "Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all of the things you're doing for me." At least my kids don't. But we can show our thanks through our actions. We do our best, we help each other, and we do what we're supposed to do. We behave with pride in ourselves, knowing that our actions reflect on our own families, and for some of us, reflect on our entire community. I think that this attitude and understanding was foundational for my desire to work hard and excel. You heard from Mr. Garrison that as a Breck alumna, I've attended Harvard University and the University of Arizona College of Law. At those places, I continued to work hard and strive to do my best as a way of showing my thankfulness for my opportunities. I earned both scholarly and service-related rewards during my education. And I also strove to do my best in my contributions to the world. I served as the president of Native American Student Organization, and I was recognized nationally for my leadership in law school. When I came to the point of deciding on a career and becoming an attorney, I didn't have any connections to law firms or companies, so I had to rely on the hard work that I had done so far. I worked as an attorney at a big law firm practicing Indian law in Minneapolis for 10 years. During that time, I achieved national awards and recognition for my work, and I served on nonprofit boards and councils, particularly in the performing arts, which are very dear to my heart. I also served as a leader for the Minnesota American Indian Bar Association, which is an association for American Indian attorneys in Minnesota. And during this time, I remained close to Breck. I served on the Alumni Council for 6 years. I came back to do presentations for Martin Luther King Day. I spoke to various student groups and to parents about my experience at Breck. Now that I'm a judge for the Shakopee, Mdewakanton, Sioux community and attorney, I've been told that becoming a judge as an attorney is the apex of your career, which I did at a relatively young age, in my 30s. That may be the case, but I believe that I still have a lot of work to do in my community, in the world. I still have a lot of service to do, and I still have a lot of ambitions for myself. So I look forward to doing that and continuing to practice the way I've been practicing since I graduated. Today, I also continue to give back to my communities through service. I serve on the Breck Board of Trustees, and I'm involved with a Dakota-led nonprofit organization. As has always been the case, my family, especially my 4 kids, is my priority. You can see a clear trend in my trajectory to becoming this year's distinguished alum. Just like the Native American gathering in the baccalaureate service, none of that is a coincidence either. I've honored my privilege and experience by striving towards excellence, remembering my roots, and serving my communities. This is your community. This is your family. You are planted here. You are already growing here. Continue to blossom and bloom, all while remembering your roots. This is homecoming week, which is a tradition that welcomes alumni back to school. I feel so welcome when I'm here, and I want you to experience that feeling in the future as well. Come back to Breck, come back and give back, because whether you realize it now or several years from now, you have received so much from this place and these people around you. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Now it is my honor to present you with this Breck Chair, which names you as a recipient of Breck's 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award. Please join me in once again congratulating Ms. Leah Lussier Sixkiller.
Please say our closing prayer from the Book of Common Prayer. This is another day, O Lord. I know not what it will bring forth, but make me ready for whatever it may be. If I am to stand up, help me stand bravely. If I am to sit still, help me sit quietly. If I am to lie now, help me do it patiently. And if I am to do nothing, let me do it gallantly. Make these words more than words, and grant me your strength and spirit. Amen.
This ceremony, recognizing our distinguished alum, is rooted in community just like our alma mater is rooted in community. And I want to remind you that Ms. Sixkiller collaborated with the Community Action Council to choose the recipient of this year's homecoming drive, so the Division of Indian Work. And this is a gentle reminder to please support that drive. And the Community Action Council is going to lead us in the alma mater.
Hail to Breck, our alma mater, to her will be true. Honor God and country, flag of gold and blue. Our strong bands will ne'er be broken, though we stray apart. Friendships formed within these walls will live within each heart.
We will dismiss to advisories. Your advisors have the agenda. Have a wonderful day, everybody. You are dismissed.